Good day, everyone. Welcome to this week's Technical Insights. This week, we will be covering three tech-related counters listed on the Singapore Stock Exchange. They are Venture Corp, AEM Holdings, as well as UMS Holdings. But first, let us get an update on how the STI has performed for the past 1 week. For the past 1 week, STI is down 0.36%, and for the past 1 month, it's down about 1.03%. But year-to-date, STI is still in the positive territory, up about 1.38%. So as you can see over here, the last reading on the STI I have over here is about 3,288 points on 24th of February. So this is actually breaching the 3,300 resistance and support level that we saw earlier, a critical level for the STI index. So we have breached this 3,300 level, and the next support level that we are testing now is this line over here, which is about the 3,280 point levels, and this is the peak that we saw on 2021, somewhere in the November period, where this is the high we saw for the whole of the year 2021. Now, we are now using this as a support, and this support looks likely that it will be the pivot for the near term for the STI index. If you look at the MACD indicator for the STI index, it's now reading at a negative 10.59, which means that the current trend of the STI index on the daily chart at least is going on a downtrend. And this downtrend is likely going to continue in the near term, as both the MACD line as well as the signal line are both pointing downwards. And on the RSI, the reading now is at 44 points, and that is below the 50-point neutral mark, meaning that in the near term, it is still seeing very weak momentum. Now, with both the MACD and the RSI pointing to us that likely there's going to be negative momentum or downtrend signals that's coming in, we are likely going to breach the 3,280 points support level that we saw, which was the peak in 2021, to the next support level, which is about the 3,237 point level. And this level, if I'm going to zoom out on the chart, is actually the peak that we saw over here in 2021, the peak during the April period of 2021. Okay, so that is my near-term take as well as what the near-term indicators are telling us about the STI index. This is the daily chart for Venture Corporation, and the price now is trading at $18.18. The earnings announcement is coming out today, 24th of February, after market close, and that might provide some kind of catalyst or even volatility to the share price. Now, in the past 2 weeks or so, the prices has been trending down since it reached the peak level of about $18.75, which was the resistance level that we observed over here in 2022 over the August period, where we see a double peak on the $18.65 level. So we retested this peak and prices have come back down again, and now we are resting on the support of this resistance and support level, which was the high somewhere during around the mid of November. So this point over here, this resistance point, also coincides with the resistance we saw in March 2022, and Venture Corp share price is now using this to hold up the share price for now before the earnings announcement. According to the MACD indicator, you can see that MACD indicator is now a negative 0.1. That means that the trend for Venture Corporation is a downtrend, and we look at the MACD histogram as well as the trajectory of the MACD line as well as the signal line. Both are pointing downwards and seems to be gaining momentum for now. So we are expecting that MACD indicator is telling us or signaling to us that likely the downtrend will continue, and we will need to test the next support level, which is around the $17.36 level or $17.40 level, which will be the next support level that we see over here, this line, which is somewhere during the support that we saw in February 2022, where there is buyers pushing the price up towards the $18.65 level. On the RSI, the reading now at 48 tells us that there is it's below 50 points. That means it's a weak to negative momentum that we are seeing. So that echoes what the MACD indicator is telling us also. So likely in the near term, as this is the daily chart, the prices are likely to come down further and may likely breach the current level that is using now as support, which is about the $17.89 level, and going towards the $17.37 level. Okay, let's start with the daily chart on the AEM counter. So the current share price for AEM is $3.36. As you can see, in the past 1 week or so, we have been bouncing along this line, which is the $3.28 support level. Now, if I trace back this $3.28 level, that was the low we saw in May 2021, using that as a support for now, before the earnings announcement comes out today, after market close on 24th February. The next support that we see for AEM Holdings is the $3.03 level, which was the low we saw in October 2022, and that will provide the next support level for AEM Holdings share prices. The resistance level that we see, at least for now, is the $3.96 level, which was the peak or the high in December 2022. And recently, the share price around the January period also tested the upper band of the Bollinger Band around the $3.50 level. So prices have been consolidating, I would say, around this $3.40, so plus minus 10 cents around the 330 to 350, 330, 340, and 350 level. And it's also probably waiting for a catalyst to come out from the earnings results. So the daily chart, the indicator on the daily chart, at least the MACD, is neutral at 0. And if you look at the trajectory of the MACD line as well as the signal line, it's pretty much moving in a sideways movement. So technically, MACD is telling us that prices are directionless right now. For the RSI, it is 4 points below 50 at the reading of 46, meaning that momentum is very weak now. And that likely also coincides with what the MACD is saying, that in the near term, prices are going to be range bound and do not show any direction at this point of time. Okay, lastly, we have UMS Holdings. As you can see, for the past 1 week or so, prices has sort of been range bound after we saw a big decline somewhere in the early part of February, where it tested the resistance level of $1.36, which was also the year-to-date high for 2023. And this level was actually the resistance level that we saw in 2022 during the August to the September period, which has a double top formation, which means that it is a very strong resistance level to break through. Okay, since prices tested this level in the early part of February, prices have retraced back down and even reached the $1.20 level, which is also the 20 days moving average for UMS Holdings share price. And the bridge below the 20 days moving average share price means that it is also going on towards a downtrend. And the MACD indicator just slightly below the reading of 0 and below the 0-point neutral mark, with the past 2 or 3 weeks looking pretty much of a heavy selling according to the MACD histogram, tell us that this downtrend that we see would likely be a continuation of the trend, and it will likely stay below the 0 neutral mark. So we are seeing that, at least on the MACD indicator, it is telling us that it's a downtrend, but then this downtrend may have the strength of that downtrend, the momentum of that downtrend may have weakened a little bit, and now we might be going into a consolidation period for now on the daily chart according to the MACD indicator. On the RSI, the reading at 41 tell us that it's between 50 to 30, which means that it is weak momentum. So likely we would likely see another leg down, or probably prices have to stay low at this level of about $1.10 before it can gain some momentum going forward. So with that, that is my coverage of the technical insights this week, as well as the STI index. So I hope to see you next week in the next technical insights video.